There's oil dripping all over the hot side of the turbo, so it might catch on fire.
$225 cooling system
versus $500 cooling system.
Does more expensive mean more better?
Let's find out.
Go. We bought two identical Nissan 350Zs and we've been modifying them to be fun daily drivers that you can take to the track.
One car got a bunch of really cool expensive parts and the other car got a bunch of cheap stuff.
Then we test them to see which components are actually worth spending your hard-earned money on.
We've compared coilovers, brakes, wheels, tires, seats. We turboed both of our cars.
And turboing your car makes it run a little hot. So today we are installing some cooling kits. I'm getting a $195 Megan Radiator and a $30 universal fan for a total of $225.
I will be getting this $300 CSF Radiator, $200 Mishimoto Fan system, and $200 worth of hosing. Not only is this kit far superior to Nolan's, it is also going to do a great job keeping your boy cool, calm, collected. Because sometimes, Nolan, I get hot.
All right, so here's the fan we're installing on low car. Yeah, it's $30, and you know what? I believe it. There's nothing special or remarkable about this fan.
I bet if you plug it in, it'll turn on.
I actually really like this.
I think that's a quality unit. The welds are nice, everything seems solid, It's good. So, what does $500 get you? If you have a really keen eye, you might notice that there's two fans where Nolan only had one, which is twice as good. You'll notice this big metal stuff all around it. That's called a shroud that allows it to direct more of the air into the radiator.
Ooh, dang. There's a audible ooh and ah through the office. Yours is so much thicker than mine, James.
Whereas Nolan's radiator fan is gonna be held on by zip ties. Ours was designed to bolt directly onto a stock 350Z radiator, so it fits like a glove.
We've taken low car out to the canyons, and it's overheated a few times, which isn't fun. Hopefully this stuff alleviates those issues and we can stay cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, man. As a cucumber?
Yeah.
Did you make that up?
I did.
That's good, dude. Cucumbers are cool, dude. So we are on our way to our super secret canyon test track. The goal is to get both these bad boys hot as hell.
If you guys can remember back in Albuquerque, the car got a little bit hot on the track. So we're gonna try to recreate that here, Weekend Warrior style, out in the canyons. We're pretty positive the car's gonna get hot again, but we wanna see what the limit is. That way when we move to the new radiator, we'll be able to tell the difference immediately.
To accurately gauge the temperature of the car, we're gonna be using this thermal camera here. Very cool equipment. And we're gonna be looking at the temperature gauge inside the car, make sure that's reading accurately as well. Let's go.
This thing feels good. That lake looks beautiful. Thank you, Donut, for giving me the opportunity. This is a dream come true. Oh, it was getting almost to the point where it was unsafe, but I definitely didn't boil it over too bad. Way up.
Me.
We'll get some readings right now.
Radiator is at say 225. Coolant hose, 200. Turbo feed line, we'll say 180.
Good?
Yep.
Immediately, the car is already getting hot. Just got done with our test. We were originally gonna do 4 laps, but because the car was getting so hot, it was cooked after 3. So we had to stop the test. We didn't wanna endanger anything or catch fire.
The base temperature for the radiator was at 190. After our third run is at 225. Our coolant return hose was at 165 degrees. On run 3 is at 200. But I mean, across the board, huge temperature spikes.
Massive.
No signs of overheating yet. We're still plugged right into the middle of the gauge. God, it's beautiful up here.
Radiator is at 165. Those brakes looking like, ooh, those are some hot boys.
Man, we're running about 10 to 20 degrees hotter than these guys.
I wasn't expecting that. Dude, this is so fun. I love this thing. Temp gauge still looks the same after coming up. Car still feels great, but boy, I bet we're cooking some stuff in there. We ain't making no boosts. I think I broke it.
Off the hood.
What'd you break? I don't know, I think we lost a charge pipe or something. It's not making any power. Interesting. It like sounds like it's revving a little weird too. But it's really struggling to even rev out. Kind of need to take it back to the shop.
So we just got back from the canyon.
We've got a big old radiator right here, a big old fan right here.
I'm not huge on that fan at all. Most of the time, OEM fans are very good. And then aftermarket fans are just big, pretty things that usually don't work unless you get like something really high end that is shrouded, much like high cars setup. You're not really utilizing what this fan is capable of because there's no sealed surface. I think it's in our best interest to try to utilize our OEM fan on the back of this thing. We might have a fitment issue because it is thicker than this. If we're forced to use this,
That's kind of my last option, honestly. I don't like the idea of using that thing at all.
me either.
I think this is the first time on the show that a low part is our final resort. It should go perfectly smoothly here at Low Team. I just took off the front bumper. We're gonna dive in here and start taking the radiator out.
We're hoping that this is the drain for the OEM radiator right here. And then we're gonna have to release the pressure on top and it should flow nice and free. Wow, dude, come on, dude, stop pissing on the seat. Quick little check, make sure there's no oil in there. Looks pretty good.
Got the car in the air, inspected all of the charge pipes, all the couplers, the whole turbo system, and there don't appear to be any boost leaks. So, the other thing that's going on is that the sound of the engine has changed a little bit, and that's a little concerning. So my next thought after a boost leak is that we may have jumped timing. And if not, well, we'll talk about that later.
It'll come out. We just gotta coerce it.
There's just a lot of stuff in the way.
Just give it a quick tug.
A quick tug. Wow, that was actually remarkably easy. All I need are a few quick tugs, you know? I'm a little embarrassed it takes only a few quick tugs, but I am very efficient, I will say that. It just needs a little bullying.
Watch your finger though.
Yep.
Watch your finger.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Oh, dude.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
Go.
Nolan, we got some good news, man. The stock shroud fits on the radiator.
Looks like it's pretty much a perfect fit.
We should be good.
Great.
Timing seems to check out. We don't have any boost leaks. We also don't have a check engine light. We did find 2 spark plugs that had cracked porcelain. We'll replace the cracked spark plugs and see if that helps. Hopefully it will.
Things are looking real good.
Well, I'll be damned.
So the turbo compressor sits right here, and these ribs are preventing it from fitting down there, and there's no way we're gonna take that turbo off. I'm gonna take these ribs out, try to make room for it to clearance right past the turbo. I hope it's enough. Did you get that? Oh, wow. Just gonna finesse it in a little bit. I think I heard a crack.
Fingers crossed. Tough to really tell, I don't know. Doesn't sound right.
So we got the radiator in, the fan shroud bolts up to it very nicely. Looks like this is gonna work.
My only concern is just making sure that we get it back together correctly. What you see, what she sees.
Oh my God, give me that. Give me this.
Something is really wrong.
Everything's buttoned up, thanks to Aaron here.
Thanks to Nolan here.
Oh man, thank you. So we're gonna wait until tomorrow to fill up the radiator and bleed everything out because we wanna do our test driving during the day when it's safer.
So low car's cooling bits are almost installed. Unfortunately, we're still having issues and we're under a bit of a time crunch because this is a video series. So we brought it to the dudes at Specialty Z. These guys are Z masters. And if anyone can fix it, it's them.
That rattling like box of rocks.
Oh yeah, okay. We got a little rattle in our driver's side cat here, so we're thinking maybe it is just a dislodged cat that's causing our issues.
That one's starting to melt, and you can actually see fuzzies. Go ahead and rev it for me. Well, so that's actually the other cat that just blew up.
Oh yeah?
That's cool. You don't want to be breathing that.
Yeah, cover yourself.
That was cool.
That's precious metal.
So hopefully we just messed up our cats with too much power, baby. And we can replace those and get back on the road.
Honestly, this could have been so much.
Got a puppy today. Figured out our issue.
Cats and dogs.
We got cats and dogs. Ah!
So finally, we're on to cooling stuff. We got a lot of heat. Now it's time to cool it down. We've got this big old thick CSF aluminum radiator, way thicker than the stock one. Should transfer a lot of heat.
We're gonna install these dual fans by Mishimoto. This boy is thin, so it should counteract any fitment issues that we have by adding this big old thick boy of a radiator. And they're gonna be pretty loud, and since this is a race car, that's a win.
Splash Mountain, baby. Ah, too splashy. Our old coolant is coming out and it looks bright green. That's a good sign. If your coolant looks a lot different than the color it was when you put it in, you probably got some sort of an issue. So you want it to come out looking like that. Dinky, dinky, dinky. Hefty, hefty, hefty. Now let's go jam this big, fat, thick daddy in there.
ROO, radiator officially on. FOO, fans officially on. HOO, hoses officially on. SHOO, shoot. Silicone hoses officially on.
All right, so this is what we just pulled out of our old cooling system. This is antifreeze, and what you will find in about 99% of cars on the road. This prevents your cooling system from freezing.
But we're in Southern California, so it doesn't really freeze ever.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do instead?
We're gonna put 100% distilled water into our new radiator.
Distilled water actually disperses heat a lot better than the coolant.
The drawback though is that it freezes. But since we still have 50% of our coolant system still in the block, mixing the antifreeze with the distilled water is gonna give us a pretty good mix of what we're after.
Sweet. That's one.
Ah!
Leaks? Any leaks?
Not yet.
So we're gonna pour some more water in here. I got Pumphrey in the car. He's about to start it up, get the water pump moving, fill all these hoses with new fluid. And as it does that, air will bubble up to the top of the radiator, so we'll leave the cap off and we'll just keep putting juice in until it don't take no mo. Hey, fire it up.
Oh yeah. Our reservoir is getting pretty full right here. You'll pretty much know when all the air is out of the system, when the reservoir doesn't bubble over anymore.
I'm watching the temp gauge right now. It's slowly climbing, not any faster than it normally would, which is a good sign.
I'm actually really happy right now because we're having to hold the RPM really high in order to get the fans to come on and off. That means the radiator is already doing a better job than the old one.
So we got our radiator and fan all buttoned up, got some fresh coolant and distilled water in there. Time to go back to our super secret test facility tomorrow morning, do another heat test and see what difference all this stuff made.
Okay, so you may remember a couple days ago, I melted down the stock cats on high car when we were trying to do the cooling test. I'd love to replace them in the future with some high flow cats, but that's gonna take time, and I don't have any time. What I managed to do was get Fast Intentions to whip us up these sick little test pipes that'll replace the cats altogether. Should free up some flow and some ponies. Let's go. Looks good. Alright, we gotta go hit the track, baby!
High car, temp test 2. High car, temp test 2. Okay, she pulls. Give him hell, Zach!
Let's give them something to talk about.
Radiator is at 140.
Temp gauge looks good, and the car was running good the whole time, so that's really, you know, uplifting. Round 2!
Now, I want to point out that there probably are more scientific and more accurate ways to test these components that we just put on.
You're absolutely right.
Driving it up and down a canyon is just a lot more fun.
Sounds like Need for Speed 2.
Coolant hose is 160. Coolant overflow tank is 120.
Jack it, dude.
That's freaking hot, dude.
That's a sign of a good machine.
God damn, this car is so amazing.
Do we do it? Do we get hot? Do we get hotter? Car feels great. Per the temp gauge on the dash, we're still good on temp, which means our radiator's doing its job, our fans are doing their job, and our hoses seem to be keeping the fluids in.
We're feeling good. Our initial impressions, the car already felt like it was running cooler, so I'm really excited to get up the hill and see what this thing can do now.
How's the temp gauge?
It's gone up a little bit, not gonna lie. Little car cooks, bro.
It does. Oh, I smell everything. I smell everything.
All right, oh wow. Radiator, 200. Wow.
Temperature's coming down. Before it was not coming down, it would chill too high. I don't know, man, I think it's working way better.
Yeah, but you've definitely got a pretty good oil leak at the turbo.
Where's it coming out?
It looks like it's somewhere at the center rotating assembly.
Well, I think the car is running cooler, but there's oil dripping all over the hot side of the turbo, so it might catch on fire.
But that's unrelated to the test. The temperature gauge stayed in the same spot the whole time. I'm really impressed with this radiator. Although it's not that surprising as it's twice as thick as the stock one.
I think capacity and overall efficiency is better, but low car strikes again. Let's get it fixed.
So, does more expensive mean more better? You guys might notice that we are in our respective living rooms. That's because we are doing our part, self-quarantine and level the curve. Take care of yourself, wash your hands, and don't get coughed on. That being said, cooling. In both cars, the upgraded radiators and fans lowered the temps. High car started off in a better spot.
And I think that has a lot to do with the turbo placement between both cars. Low car, we got big turbo sitting up there right in the engine bay next to the engine and the coolant lines and all that. It's generating a lot of heat. Aaron was really pushing the car to make as much heat as he could. And that's just gonna make it hot in there. But the temperatures came down, in fact, lower than our baseline with the stock radiator.
At this point with these cars, nothing exists in a vacuum. We've thrown a lot of aftermarket parts on both of them. We're sort of paying for the sins of past parts and compounding issues that we've been building along the way.
You know, I think I would go with the high parts. $500 is a little pricey for the low car spectrum, but I mean the fit and finish, especially of that fan shroud you got for your radiator.
It's a pretty piece.
It's so cool.
$500 generally is like my guilt threshold. So I think that I would go with the high parts as well. Thank you guys so much for watching High Low. Make sure you tune in next week. We've been working really hard on making both these cars faster, but next week we're gonna make them both furiouser. I'm talking neon, baby, underglows,
Hell yeah.
headlights that I can operate with my phone. We had a blast making it. We hope you guys have fun watching it.
Be kind.
I love you.
See you next time.